Hector Bravo, unhinged. Chaos is now in session.
Welcome back to our channel, Warriors. We are still growing. Today, another banger for you guys, man. A special treat. Somebody from my hometown, Ernie Mariscal, former Army veteran and motivational speaker. Glad to have you on the show, bro.
Hey, appreciate you having me here, man. It's an honor.
Thank you. Yeah, we were discussing earlier. I saw you traveled from Fresno today.
Yes, I flew in about a couple hours ago.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for making it, man.
Shit, thanks for inviting me.
So you grew up in Imperial?
So I grew up in Brawley. So I was born in Uvalde, Texas. You know where all that mass shooting happened? I was born in that little town. It's about the same size as Brawley. So I was born there. When I was about 6 months old, we moved to Brawley, and then I grew up there. And I graduated I dropped out of school, actually. I was living in the streets at 16 years old. I don't know if you want to go that far. I can.
Absolutely. 16 years old, you dropped out?
Yeah.
Because you need a high school diploma to join the military.
Yes.
So what happened?
So my dad kicked me out. But I was just running the street, doing bad things, and my dad kicked me out. So I dropped out of school at the same time. So I was living in the streets, basically, from friend's house to friend's house, and doing what I wanted. I tried to be the cool kid, which I wasn't. And I was actually by the projects at a dope house, and I was hanging out, and this guy showed up with a gun and had a gun in my face, asking for money, asking for dope. And in that moment, man, I was like, shit, man, I'm 17 years old, and this is it for me. So after that, the guy, luckily, he left. And I called my mom, man. And then I was like, hey, Mom, this happened to me. And my mom was like, all right, well, I'm going to come get you, and you're going to go live with your brother. And so I went to go live with my brother, went back to school. After I graduated, I left.
Where was your brother living?
He was living right behind Jack in the Box in those apartments. I forgot the name.
But in Brawley?
Yes.
So you got out of school a little early. You started running the streets, ended up in the projects with a gun to your face. And
yes.
The epiphany. You had an epiphany.
Yeah, a forceful one.
Right. Hey, It happens sometimes, man.
Oh, definitely.
What gave you the idea to join the military?
I had some uncles that were in the military. I had one that was an officer. Actually, he graduated from West Point. He was my mom's sister's husband. So I would see him, and then I saw my other uncle from actually another sister from my mom. He was in the military too. He was in the Army as well. So we would go see him at Fort Sam Houston.
Nice.
And so I saw all these guys in uniform, disciplined, all these things. And I was like, man, I want. And then, back in the 80s, there was a lot of war movies and, Rambo and shit like that. So
they had good commercials back in the day, man.
Yes.
Recruitment
so,
videos.
Be all you can be.
Right.
And then I was kind of like looking at that, and I was like, man, I want to be something. And of course, so after I graduated, I was like, let's go do that.
When you graduated, how long after till you took off to the Army?
Right after. My mom said this to me. She goes, I don't know what you're going to do, but you're not going to do it here.
Right.
And then basically she was like, you get the hell out. So,
absolutely.
And then that's where the Army came in.
What year was that?
That was in October of 1991.
Had the Gulf War happened? Was it happening?
It was happening, and then it ended in January, I believe, of that year, 91.
So when you joined, you went to basic training. Was there your superiors talking about the Gulf War or anything?
Not really.
No.
I did have some Vietnam veterans.
Okay.
That were still in, and when I went through basic, man, it was crazy.
Where'd you go to basic at?
Fort Sill, Oklahoma, right?
Was that your first time, besides being born in Texas, was that your first time being out of the state like that?
No, I would. We would always travel because I have
Okay.
family in Arizona,
Cool.
and we would travel through all that stuff. So that wasn't my first time out of state, but that was my first time alone. So when I got to Fort Sill, and see, here's the funny part about it. So when I got there, they left me in a transitional barracks for a week. So we weren't doing basic. We weren't doing Army shit. We were
like
just
reception.
Yes, for a week. So me, I didn't know anything in life. So I have these drill sergeants. They weren't yelling at us.
Correct.
They weren't doing nothing. They were just calm and collective. So they would just be like, hey, study these, tanks or aircraft, Russian, blah, blah, blah. And so we would go eat, come back to sleep, and then on the 5th day of Friday, they said, "Hey, you're gonna be picked up by your basic training."
Right.
So we're all lined up, and there's a parade field in front of us, and across the parade field, 3 cattle trucks pull up. And in my mind, I'm like, "What the fuck is this?" And I just seen 6 guys, huge dudes with round browns, like walking at a fast pace towards us. And by the time they got close to us, they were like, "You better jump in that truck like it's on fire."
Right.
Man, that was the worst fun day of my life.
What were you feeling? What was your mentality when you were alone for the first time and during that 1 week period? You're basically, it feels like purgatory.
I was scared.
You were scared?
Yes, scared, nervous of the unknown. Because of, again, you know, I grew up in this small town,
Right.
and I didn't know shit. And trying to, I know in our culture, it's always negative, you know, scary.
Correct.
Something bad's gonna happen.
Right.
So it was like that.
El cucuy.
El cucuy, exactly.
So there you are, fucking scared. You said you what were you eating in the chow hall?
Yes.
Yeah. And probably back then, because I remember reception. You were able to eat like the cake. You were able to eat the ice cream. But then when they pick you up, all that stops.
Gone.
Correct.
Gone, yes. So we had I remember it was like swallow it and taste it later.
Correct.
And everywhere we went, you had to run. You couldn't walk.
Explain to the crowd what a cattle truck is, man.
So basically, a cattle truck is what they pick up cattle in. You know, has those sidings with holes in it. You know, cows piss out of it and everything. Like it stunk bad too, by the way. And looking back at it, I understood what they were doing. They're making you feel like shit, like you don't matter. But everybody didn't matter together, and that was the whole part of it because it broke you down. And you know, being in basic, man, I was like at 0, but then they built your confidence back up little by little, by little by little.
Is that what you took the cattle trucks for? Because I mean, it could also just be like a transportation thing, but I could also see the demoralizing of
Yes.
being in that all steel, nut to butt.
Yes.
I mean, how packed were you guys in there?
Oh man, just like you said it. And we all had, for me, I had a duffel in the front, duffel in the back, and then I was carrying 2 bags.
Yeah.
So every time they said, look inward, look outward. And I'm short as hell. So every time they did that, I was getting smacked around. But, you know, you had to do what you had to do.
Right. Were they also giving you unrealistic time limits to
yes.
accomplish goals?
Yes.
What do you think, looking back in hindsight, was the purpose of that?
To get better. You know, in a sense where you got to think before you react kind of thing. Like, okay, how am I going to execute this and how fast can I do it? You know, I would see it like that.
Yeah. Were you enjoying this during this time?
No.
You weren't embracing it? You weren't enjoying it? Were you hating it?
I wasn't hating it because I was still in that unknown phase, you know, like I didn't know what the hell next was going to happen. I mean, we would go to bed by, I don't know, 10 and we wake up by 3. So
Right.
we barely had enough sleep. And again, I don't know none of this shit. Getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning, never heard of, you know, at that age.
How about the physical portion? Were you guys ruck marching,
Oh, hell
marching,
yes.
or
Yes, we're running.
PTing every morning?
Yes, PTing every morning, getting up, doing PT, I think by 04 and doing it for, I don't remember how long, but anyway, yeah, we were running, roll marching, we were doing it all. And back then, I don't know how it is now, but back then I know it was really straight to your face kind of thing. And I could tell you one example where we were in formation and there was this Puerto Rican guy next to me. And the drill sergeant was like, hey, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to do it, blah, blah, blah. And this Puerto Rican dude was like, I'm not going to do it.
It's always the Puerto Ricans, man.
And you know what? In back of my mind, I was like, oh, shit, it's about to pop off. That drill sergeant grabbed him. And what was crazy is when that drill sergeant grabbed him, like 3 other drill sergeants showed up out of nowhere. And they grabbed him and they drug him behind the formation. And all I could hear was like, oh, ah. They were beating the shit out of him. Drill sergeant came back around, stood in front of formation, looked at us and said, privates, you guys see anything? Nope.
No.
Man, that was wild. But guess what? After that shit, dude was straight.
He was?
Oh, yes.
It's funny how that works, huh?
Yeah, funny
A
how it
little
works.
wall-to-wall counseling, man. Since we're on this subject, and I like what you just said, and I think so we've gotten away from that.
Mm-hmm.
Are you able to identify between what is hazing and what is developing discipline? Is there some things that are warranted and some things that are not?
Ooh, man, that's a good one.
Bro, I'll ask are good ones.
Yeah, I think when we would do the wall to wall, because there was other things we would do, the blanket parties and things like that. I thought that was kind of like discipline, getting people straight, because you wanted your platoon to get straight. Because one guy fucks it up, everybody gonna pay for it.
Correct.
So I thought that was good. And then when we moved forward, into my service in my younger years, getting promoted, we dug the ranks in the chest, pounded in
blood rank, yeah.
yes. And I mean, I thought that was like a rite of passage.
Absolutely.
And we loved it. And then we would line everybody up in file line, and then we would have the guy run in between, and we would punch the shit out of him.
Right.
And I mean, it was.
I agree. I agree. It builds character.
It does. It does, and I liked it.
And you know what? The public may not agree with that, and that's fine. But they did at one point try to put women in the infantry. Actually, they did put women in the infantry, but I was never on board with that because I understand what it takes to be in a unit like that, cohesive unit of men, of warriors, so to say.
Yes. Yeah. Well, so I was always with mechanized infantry. So I was headquarters, but all the Alpha Bravo Charlie Delta were all infantrymen, right? So I supported the infantry company. But we would always train with the infantry.
Absolutely.
So the thing was, just like you said, to build that warrior, you got to go through some shit together.
Right.
And when you do that shit together, there's nothing, that can break you guys as
Correct.
one, man. Because there was some units that I was in, and especially when we went to Korea, I was in 1-9 Infantry. We were like a gang over there, man.
Really?
Yes.
So you say you got your headquarters. What unit was that where you were headquarters and then?
Okay, so every unit after, when I graduated basic, I went to AIT for 6 months.
Damn, it's a long fucking time.
Yeah, man. So we had to study the Bradley. So
what did you guys learn how to take off the track?
No, not that part, because I was all weapon systems. So I did all the electrical systems.
25 Mike.
25 Mike Bushmaster.
What about the Halon?
The Halon system, that was more hull side. So I was turret side, weapon side.
Okay.
So I knew about that and the tow system.
And the tow. Okay.
So that's what I had to learn about, the schematics, electrical systems, all that stuff. So I had to learn how to troubleshoot it, how it works, all the 9 yards.
Yeah.
So from there, I went to Fort Riley, Kansas. That was my first unit. 116th Infantry, Devil Rangers. Man, that was hardcore shit, man. And to top it off, I think I was the only Hispanic dude in my company. So I was headquarters 116th Infantry. And then, like I said, Alpha Bravo Charlie Delta. We had Echo back then.
Okay.
And that was there were the hotels, basically the tow mounted.
On the Humvees.
Yes.
Yeah. Because back then they had you were like 11 Hotel, which was the Humvees, 11 Mike, which was mechanized.
Yes.
And then it would switch over to 11 Bravo or
yes.
11 Charlie, Mortarman.
Yes. So we had all that in that.
Okay.
And
during that time, those are the good old years, bro. Though I look at them as the good old years.
yes. When you had issues back then, you guys solved them. Yes. They got handled.
America only got softer after those years.
Yes, I agree. I would say during, I'm trying to remember the years. I want to say in 2008-ish time frame. That's when they started allowing the transgenders, whatever, all that stuff.
So we can get to that, and we can identify how we can identify it together. So back then, you're going to basic. Let's talk about it now. You go to your unit. What is the Army's focus on training their soldiers? Is it transgender training? Is it, you know what I mean?
Well, when I got to my first unit?
Correct. Like, were they focused on war fighting? And
it was all war fighting.
Exactly.
It was always training. So if we weren't at the motor pool working on vehicles or whatever it is, you were doing hip pocket training.
Or shooting at the range.
Shooting at the range. So the grunts, they would go do the training. We would do our training. It was always training. We were always getting ready to fight. And it was about, Russia this, Russia that. Russia this, Russia that. When we went out and trained, we had those little Ivans. We would shoot at the little Ivans. When we would go out to the gunnery for the Bradleys, we were shooting at BMPs, the T-72s or whatever it was. We were shooting at that. It was all tank shit or open field battle.
What would happen if back in that time frame, if one of your platoon mates would say, "Hey guys, today I'm Mandy. I identify as a woman." What would happen in that era?
In that moment, they would have probably got their ass kicked and got kicked out.
I wish I could play sound effects, bro. I'll probably have to edit it in somehow. But you know, I
Yes.
don't encourage ass kickings, but
Roger.
I understand the time frame.
You know, one of the biggest things is when in our unit, you know, when somebody from the outside or somebody wasn't one of the guys,
You
you
know,
got fucked up. You know,
you just reminded me something, bro. Like, yeah, I remember like when we got out of the army. I one of my good brothers, still my brother till this day. You know, we kind of found out some more truth about him, and we're like, bro, you're lucky we didn't find this shit out when we were in the army, dude. We would have fucking, kicked your ass, bro. We
Yeah.
would have ostracized you. But now we're fucking, mature adults, and
Yes.
you're our brother, so whatever, bro.
yeah, I mean, to each their own, man. but,
Correct.
you know, you keep that stuff to yourself.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel.
Yeah, but the focus, right? The focus,
focus
of
is
the
all
military.
winning wars.
Winning wars. And I will dive into the whole political, going on in Iran, Israel, and all that other crazy shit from your perspective. These Bradleys were, during this time frame, how was the equipment? Was it good?
To me, it was good. I mean, it
Effective?
worked. Yeah,
They
they were
were?
effective. I mean, that 25 mic, man, it penetrated, solid steel. I mean,
Yeah.
it would go through. I remember some of the guys that were in Desert Storm. They would tell me how they were just ripping through the BMPs or whatever, the T-72s, I believe they
Yeah.
were. I mean, they were just ripping them up, and they were telling me how they were slaughtering people, man.
Yeah, it's definitely a weapon system capable of slaughtering people
Yes.
by the masses.
Yes. And that's what it's designed for.
Correct.
I mean, we're not going in there to be nice guys.
Correct. What year did you deploy to Iraq?
I deployed in 2004 and came back in 2005.
What was your rank?
I was a staff sergeant at that
God
time.
damn, bro, you did. So see, that's what I like. I like that you joined in the 90s. You had some time under your belt. At any point in between there, did you re-enlist?
Yes, I enlisted, I think, twice already.
Twice?
Yes.
Were you attempting to make it a career, or was it spontaneous decisions?
Actually, remember when I told you about that fear of the unknown?
Correct.
It went back to the fear of the unknown being a civilian,
Makes sense.
right? So I kept going, because this is all I knew.
I figure a lot of soldiers experience that, or a lot of
Yes.
military service members.
Mm-hmm.
Not me. I wanted to get the hell out, bro. I don't do good with authority, man.
You know what? You're right. I wasn't either, but there was always physical,
Right.
get back in line.
Discipline.
Yes.
Yeah. So you go as a staff sergeant, bro. Do you have troops underneath you?
Yes. I don't remember how many. I think I had 10 or 11.
Shit.
Yeah. So I ran a recovery section. So what a recovery section is I have 88s. I think I had 3 88s. I had one 10-ton wrecker. So basically, I was like the tow truck service
The 88
for the
mics.
Bradleys. Yeah. Well, no. 88 mics were truck drivers.
So the 88s
88
were those big ones that have the big.
Yeah, the boom on it and
Correct,
stuff.
the
The
boom.
spade in the front.
Yeah.
Yes. So those big boys are 56 tons. So they would go out, or we would go out and grab snatch Bradleys that broke down or whatever happened to them and bring them back.
How did that look in your guys? Did you guys have a motor pool?
In Iraq,
Yeah.
a makeshift one.
Where were you at? What part of Iraq?
So we were in northern Baghdad.
Hmm.
That was, in fact, Haifa Street. You know where Haifa Street was?
One of my good friends, Hector Lehal, was killed on Haifa Street.
Very bad area. So we were just down the street from there. Bad area.
And I was assuming it was bad in 04, 05?
Oh, yes. Well, see, when we showed up in April 1st of 2004,
Yeah.
so that's when the transition was happening, the invasion force.
Oh, bro, we mean you were in Iraq in the same exact time then. That showed up in March 2004.
That's when I showed up, at the end of
Yeah.
March. So day one was April 1st.
Okay.
That's when we actually got into Baghdad to our fob on that night. So I remember, we got there. So we were all going to set up in tents. The guys that were already there were in the hard buildings.
Okay.
So we're in the back 40. I'm laying in my tent, and I remember I could see the moon. And I'm laying down in bed in my cot. And I'm like, man, I'm in combat, man.
Right.
And I was nervous. I was afraid, scared or whatever you want to call it. And right when I said that, I just saw RPG. Boom! They started attacking us. Come to find out what they were doing, for one, they were trying to scare us. Two, they were testing us. So what happened is they set up across the river, I forgot what river that was. Across the river was the I forgot the name of it, Syed City or something like that. It was another bad area. And what happened is that they were setting up ambushes for the QRFs. So what happened when the QRFs was going out, they had soft Humvees too, soft skin Humvees. So they
Who had soft Humvees?
our guys.
Your guys had soft
yes.
Humvees? You guys didn't take the Bradleys?
Negative. Well, they were the QRF guys, so the Bradleys were already out. So they sent the Humvee,
okay.
soft skin Humvees
Makes
as
sense.
QRF
And that was on your first day.
first day. And that was it's because across the river was 3/8 Cav and we were 1/9 Cav. So 3/8 Cav was the ones that sent the soft skins, and they lost 7 guys in that moment.
In that incident,
In
they
that
lost
incident, 7
7
guys.
from the outgoing unit or the incoming unit.
That was from the incoming unit.
Okay, because it's fucking horrible news either way. But it would have sucked for it to be the outgoing unit.
Exactly.
To
Well,
get
there's a little
killed on
bit
your
more
last
to that
day.
one. So one of them was, I don't know if you remember, last name was Sheehan, the mom that kept protesting at George Bush's ranch and stuff.
The name is ringing a bell.
So her son was in that convoy.
Okay.
So that's what started that. But back to what I was saying. So that night, we got baptized into combat.
Mm-hmm.
And that changed my whole perspective as sort of like, man, this is real shit, man. But again, when that happened, started throwing soldiers, directing them into bunkers and stuff like that, training took over. Go back to that training.
Right.
It all just kicks in, man. It's like muscle memory when that shit kicks off, man.
Was it a big fob?
It was, I would say yes. It was a big fob.
Bigger.
It was bigger.
What did it have on there? Did it have like an internet cafe?
Yes, we had little stores and stuff.
You guys had little stores?
Yeah.
Damn, that's cool, man.
Yeah, it was nice. All our food was mermaided in, so
Okay, yeah,
it wasn't fancy.
Okay.
But it was okay. Now the force that we were replacing, they got extended.
Oof.
Yes.
Yeah. What unit was that? Do you remember?
It was first AD.
Oh yeah, the first armor. How did those soldiers look to you?
They were pissed off, man.
No, but how did they look? Like all salty and shot, like
Yes.
veterans.
Yes.
Like I
Yes.
remember their uniform. Like we relieved the 4th ID, and their they look like fucking OGs, man.
Yes.
They wanted to get the fuck out of
Yes. Yes. They had attitudes, and I don't blame them.
there. Well, they had like almost spent 2 years in a row right there.
Man, yeah, they were pissed off. They were
18
everything, man. And we really didn't talk to them. And I remember the guy, that kind of was in control of the whole fob, our fob. He was a staff sergeant, squared away dude, right? And so he was briefing us on the fob, the
Yeah.
areas and stuff like that, what to do and what not to do. And I remember him saying, we built this fob, and he goes, and I kind of don't like having it to leave it to you guys
Why?
because fuck it up. You
Yeah,
know?
I could see that.
And he had ownership.
Right.
So they got deployed shifted over to Nazareth or some shit like that. I forget.
Nazaria?
Nazaria. And a week later, man, he got killed in a car bomb.
The E6 did?
Yeah.
Damn.
Him and I think it was like 5 or 6 soldiers. And they should have been gone home already. And I was like, damn, that sucked. That sucked, man. And one of the biggest things for me is when we had our first KIA. So again, recovery, they brought the Humvee. The RPG went through the front windshield, took out the driver. Man, I think everything went in slow motion after that. Seeing that, going through that, and opening up the Humvee and seeing, brain matter everywhere, that right there is something that I will never forget. And in fact, just talking about it right now puts me back in that moment and going slowly through everything.
What kind of Humvee was it? Up armored Humvee?
114, yes. Up armored.
114.
114, yes.
And the RPG hit the windshield.
Yes. Went
Did
through
the
windshield.
RPG detonate on impact, or did it?
It went through it.
So the RPG went through the windshield
Yes.
and detonated inside of the Humvee.
Negative. It went straight through it. So it went through. If you remember, in the back area there was vents. Right?
Yeah.
So it went through the windshield and it went out the vent.
So it never detonated.
Never detonated.
And I would assume it decapitated a soldier.
Yes. I wouldn't say it decapitated. Just
Obliterated him.
basically.
And was there? From what you recall, was it one casualty or were there numerous
Just one.
casualties?
Just one.
Was he the driver?
He was the driver and the lieutenant was the passenger. lieutenant survived. So,
And you're on the fob at this point in time.
yes, they brought back the Humvee.
Did you guys know beforehand what they were going to be bringing back?
Yes,
You guys did know?
yes.
Did you guys know the moment they got attacked?
Negative. So all we knew was they were bringing back a KIA, or not the KIA, but the Humvee that got hit with an RPG.
Okay. And was that the first time you saw brain matters like that?
Yes.
Were you mentally prepared for what you were about to see?
No.
When you saw that, what kind of thoughts went through your head?
It wasn't more thoughts. It was more like reality. Like, you know, it sucks. And there's nothing you could do to change anything, but you had a mission and you got to keep pushing forward.
What was your duties and responsibility at that point with that vehicle?
So what we were going to do, we were going to prepare it to ship out. They were going to take it back to Kuwait. So we had to get it prepared. We had to clean it out, in a sense.
Fuck, dude. Damn, bro. I never even, not once did it ever consider my mind of us bringing vehicles like that back to the mechanics in the maintenance bay and them having to deal with the aftermath.
And his squad members were helping us too. Nobody was talking, but everybody was helping.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Shit. After that, was it continuous, ongoing stuff like that, or did you guys catch a little break here and there?
From what I remember, either those guys, when the guys would go out, they would get attacked daily. We would get probably mortared probably every other day, maybe every,
What about rockets as well?
that too.
Did you guys have a protocol where you go to a bunker of some sort, or you kind of just whatever?
Funny you say that, because at the beginning it was bunker time,
Right.
but towards the middle, I didn't give a shit.
Yeah, nobody did.
I just stayed
Whatever.
still, and I was like, okay,
If it hits
I'm
you, it
alive,
hits you.
I'm
If it
good.
doesn't, yeah.
Yeah,
Nah,
and
that
it was
makes
like
sense.
that.
So explain to the crowd how that happens, how that initially, your first time getting exposed to indirect fire, you're scared and you want to take cover. After it's happening so many times, you literally don't care.
I didn't care, and not only that, I understand death now to where I'm not afraid of it. I mean, I don't want it, but
Right.
it's going to happen. So when it does, I'm okay with it.
Makes sense to me. Was it a 1-year deployment?
Yes.
Did you go on R&R?
Yes, I did. I was the last one. I let all my guys go first, and then I was the last one.
Nice. How'd you feel about R&R? Did you not want to go back?
Actually, I never wanted to leave because I wanted to be with my guys.
Yeah.
And real quick, so on our first actual mission, we had in our sector we had a car bomb go off, and I think it was some Delta Force guys got killed. So they got a hold of me and they said, "Hey, Ernie, Sergeant Mariscal, you're gonna go out with the wrecker and grab that vehicle and bring it back." I was scared, man. So at first I told Lopez and Chavarria, I was like, "Hey, you're gonna go out there, chain up, dude, chain it up, and just drag it back, man. Don't stop." And I could see both my guys' faces. They were scared as fuck, man. I was scared as fuck. But in that moment, man, that NCO kicked in, and I said, "Chavarria, you're staying. Lopez, anything that happens to you is gonna happen to me."
That's cool.
And then his face just, oh fuck yes.
That's cool. Yeah, it gives you it puts you at ease a bit.
Yeah.
Or a lot of
I
it.
mean, at the end of the day, if anything was to happen, I'd rather it happen to me.
Oh, I can see that, bro, for sure. That's what a good leader does.
Yeah, man.
Leads by example.
It's just also another thing I remember when we deployed, one of the dads from my soldiers came up to me and goes, "Hey, bring my son back." I was like, shit.
That's a big responsibility, man. That's a big, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that shit hit me.
What did those recovery missions look like?
It depended on what type of vehicle it was, but it was always, I mean, we got proficient at it, man. We would go out there, just snatch them up and haul ass.
You guys got proficient compared to the beginning?
Yes.
Why? Were you guys like fumbling around?
Yes.
Didn't know?
Yes. We didn't know what the hell we were doing. In a sense, we were scared because you had to think about the outside,
Were people
forces.
pulling security for you guys?
Yes. Yeah, the guys were doing it, the grunts, they were pulling the security. We would go out there, but at the same time, you're still afraid of what's going to happen. You got to watch your perimeter, But again, it went back to, you know what, these guys got it. You know, if it happens, it happens. But
Right.
man, we just snatched up and rolled out.
How long does the recovery process take?
It depends on what type of situation you're in, man. Car bombs, or a vehicle breakdown. It just, you know, you're more at ease, more relaxed, and you just snatch them up and then haul ass. We chain them up first, lift them up, and roll out. Now, if it's a situation where it's more relaxed, then we hook up with the tow bar, and then we pull the
Did
vehicle.
Murphy's Law ever happen where something went horribly south during a recovery?
Actually, we had a 12-hour recovery mission.
What was that? What was up with that?
So the guys, they were in the Brawley, so platoon was patrolling an area. Well, they went over some railroad tracks, and then they had the track on one side of the railroad track. The railroad track was in the middle. So what happened? They pivoted, knocked off the track.
Damn.
Another Bradley goes out there to get that, gets stuck in the mud.
Damn.
Another Bradley comes out, stuck in the mud.
Damn.
Yes. So we send a 88 out, it gets stuck in the mud. So we had to send another 88. It was shit.
Bad, man.
And then they started getting attacked.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, that was wild. And this whole time I'm trying to leave. I'm like, hey, I need to go out there. They're like, no,
Yeah.
no, you got to control it from back here. You got to control it back here. I'm like, fuck this, man. But it is what it is. Got to take orders.
So after that deployment, you come back stateside.
Yes.
Were you suffering from any like PTSD at that point?
You know what? Looking back at it, I didn't know,
Right.
but I was. And I'll tell you the red flags right now.
Yeah.
So we get back. The first night I get back, we get fucking drunk. Me and all my guys get shit-faced drunk. Next day, we get drunk again. And, well, they give us 30 days off right when you
Right.
land. So we were drinking. I really didn't spend time with my family, my kids, you know. I didn't know how to be a dad again. I did
You
not
had
know.
kids during your deployment?
Yes.
That's rough, dude.
Yeah, man.
That is rough.
I think it was hard on my son, but I didn't know how to turn the switch off.
How many
you know.
kids did you have?
Two.
You had two
Boy
kids.
and a girl, yes.
How hard was that being deployed to Iraq, bro, with two little ones? They were little?
Yes.
Little ones at home.
You know, honestly, I didn't even really think about them.
Okay.
And I know that probably sounds
Yeah, no,
bad.
not in a bad way. I mean,
It's just like your focus, man, and
Correct.
this is life and death. Did I miss them? Yes, but, you know, it's just focus on mission.
right.
But when I did call home, it was probably every week, you know, because it was hard to get online. The internet would go down like there was no tomorrow, you know.
Yeah.
So it was hard.
Every time a soldier got killed, it was shut
Yeah,
down. the
blackout, yeah. And so it was just working all the time, man, and stayed busy. And I think when I got back, I had to stay busy at something, and I didn't know what to do anymore. And after coming back, man, it was just drinking. I was self-medicating myself with alcohol.
Prior to Iraq, were you drinking as well?
I would party, yes. I would drink.
But this was more turned up?
Oh, yes. You know, I think I turned it up to 10 on that one.
You did.
Yes, because I would get blackout drunk now. Like, I would drink till I woke up the next day like, oh, shit, what did I do?
Where would you do it? In the barracks, at the bar?
At my house. I had a house.
You had a house?
Yes.
And you would just get smashed?
Yes.
And then you would wake up in the morning and be like, oh, shit.
Yes.
And then would you start all over again?
I wouldn't start drinking again. If the guys would come over, yeah, we'd start partying again. But it was either I was staying busy doing something. But I know I had issues. I had mood swings. I know loud bangs would trigger me sometimes. I would freak out, you know, look around like, what the fuck? You know, I did not like being in busy, in packed places.
Yeah.
A lot of people, I don't like it. I still don't like it.
Right.
I just don't like people behind me, you know, things like that. And it was just a different person now, and I didn't know how to deal with it. So alcohol was my go-to.
So looking back in hindsight, how much of a problem was alcohol?
Very bad.
Very bad.
Yes.
Self-medicating.
Self-medicating.
Abuse of alcohol.
Yes. Everything.
Probably not knowing what was happening either, right? Because 2005, mental health was not prevalent.
Oh, no. And also, if you said you had mental health, like, oh,
You were
weak.
ostracized.
Yeah.
What do they
Weak.
call that? A stigma. At the
Yep.
time, thankfully now in 2025, people are more comfortable and aware. But back then, we were on our own, man.
Oh, yeah, man. If you, any type of weakness, I mean, going to sick call, you were weak.
Facts.
You know, you
still
got
are.
left out. Like,
You still
fucking
are.
Bitch, you know?
Yeah.
And so I just kept pushing forward, man, dealing with it by drinking. Work hard all week, drink hard on the weekend.
Now, was this solving your problems?
No, it was making them worse.
Elaborate.
Now, well, it created family problems, right?
Jesus.
Oh, I was married at that time.
Okay.
That was my first marriage, by the way. So I was having issues there. I didn't feel connected. I didn't feel connected to my spouse. I didn't feel connected to my kids. I was a different person, man. I didn't know who I was anymore. I know I thought differently. I just saw life differently. It's just a whole new world, and I didn't know how to deal with it.
Did you promote over there, or you were still E6?
So when I came back, 2006, I got promoted to E7.
So you were E7. Were you
Yes.
still drinking at that time?
Yes.
Damn, dude.
I was still porting.
You were.
Yes.
Were you having a hard time managing being a E7 and with the drinking and with the relationship?
I don't think so, because I just focused on drinking and working. That was the life,
But ultimately, you did not remain in that marriage.
Negative.
And I'm not going to say that's what the cause was, because I have no idea. But do you believe it contributed?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. But I can't wallow in it or
Correct,
whatever.
absolutely not.
It's done, it's gone,
Absolutely.
and move forward.
So how was coming back after Iraq, bro? Like, did you find garrison life boring or slow?
Yes. Looking back at it now, the adrenaline wasn't there anymore. That high wasn't there no more. So
Right.
how do you find it? And that was the problem. So working hard, staying busy, drinking, and just trying to do something that kept my mind busy. And I think I didn't, give in to my kids. I didn't do anything really with my kids to help them, because I was in some type of, cruise control destruction.
What age were they at this time?
Oh man. I would say I think my son was probably like 7, 7, 8 years old. And my daughter was probably like 10, 11.
Were you engaging in any reckless behavior, looking for an adrenaline rush?
I know I was doing a lot of drinking and driving.
So you were doing a lot of drinking and driving.
Yes.
Did you ever get a DUI?
Yes.
What, during that time frame?
I think it was before. No, it was before. It was before.
Damn,
that
bro.
time
So
frame.
you were risking another fucking DUI.
Yes. Yes.
And I'm sure you knew you weren't supposed to be drinking and driving.
Oh, hell no.
But
Yeah. I was fucking up.
at any point in time, did you consider seeking help?
No,
Why?
that's weakness.
Or that's what you perceived to be
Yes.
weakness?
Yes. Perceived as weakness.
Is that a myth that if you ask for help, you're a weak person?
That's a myth.
What's the reality?
The reality is it's okay to not be okay, but you got to get help. And you always got to reach out. Now that I did reach out, by the time I knew I was at zero, when I got the help, that's when I realized, like, you know what? I was never honest with myself.
Correct.
And that was the problem. Being honest with yourself and knowing that you need help. Because nobody can help you until you're honest.
Is post-traumatic stress disorder only for people that experience war?
Negative. Because I've experienced it before combat. And that was when I had childhood trauma as well.
So you had childhood trauma.
Yes.
Then you go to Iraq, you get some more trauma.
Oh, yeah.
And you come back, and now you're just drinking up a storm.
Yes.
Was there a breaking point for you?
When I retired.
When you retired?
Yes.
What did that breaking point look like?
So the breaking point for that one is the day that I retired, and when I do my speaking and stuff, I tell about this. On the day that I retired, I was so excited because, man, I was Sergeant First Class. I mean, I had a 73-man platoon.
Damn.
I was responsible for millions upon millions of dollars of equipment. Man, I had all these,
Yeah, we
awards and all
we
this
left
shit.
it all for the Taliban. dude.
Yeah, no shit, huh? And I remember, man, people are going to be calling my phone, blowing up, my emails, all these things. Nobody called me. I was putting, applications in. I went through 5 jobs, man. I got fired.
You got out of the army.
Yes.
You got you got out of the army, and then you applied for 5 jobs, or you applied for a bunch of jobs.
Yes, I've applied for jobs. I went through 5 jobs within my first year after retiring. Now, mind you, 6 guys from the unit that I deployed with in 0405 committed suicide. So, man, it's just getting that news, not being able to transition, man. I felt like a loser. I felt failure.
Were they from
man.
directly from your platoon or for the other
Negative. There
companies?
was my whole unit, complete unit. Some of the guys I knew, some that I didn't.
And they committed suicide?
Committed suicide, man.
Throughout what time frame? Throughout your whole career, they were just offing themselves?
Yes.
Damn,
I
dude,
know,
that's
man.
fucking
Sucked.
horrible. Yeah, it's bad as fuck.
Sucked, man. And it is just more, man, because the more that happened and the more I drank, the more I couldn't become a civilian. It was just, I was going lower and lower. I started questioning who I was. I started questioning my accomplishments, and I started questioning my worth.
Correct.
So at that point, of course, alcohol's still there.
Right.
And I got to a point, man, where I was going to kill myself. So I was like, fuck
Yeah.
it, I'm out of here too, man. I just, and
Did
I
you
was
have
on
a-
my,
Did you own a gun?
yes. And I was on my second marriage, by the way. So I wasn't getting support. And I'm not trying to blame her for that. But what I'm going to say is that she didn't know how to deal with it. I didn't know how to deal with it.
Correct.
And it just,
It just is what it is.
yeah. And so on the day, actually, where I was sitting in the garage drunk as hell, and I was like, you know what? I think it's time. I'm going to fucking off myself. And I had a friend of mine call me, reach out to me and say, hey, man, can you come talk to the kids? And that helped. That saved my life. So when I stood in front of those kids and talked to them, that's when I knew, fuck, this is me right here. This is my purpose. I found it. And then ever since then, man, shit gone up.
Were they his personal kids or was it like a school?
No, school. He was a teacher, I'm sorry. Yeah, at Brawley.
Really?
Yes. And they were high-risk kids, by the way. So they were in continuation.
Oh, man, we probably have the same friend and I got the same opportunity.
Did you? That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So that, damn, bro, to me, that's a miracle from God, bro, intervening.
Amen. Amen, brother.
Honestly.
Yes.
Think about it. You were in the garage, drunk as hell with a gun, about ready to do yourself in, and you get a call, hey, man, I need you to come and talk to these at-risk kids at my school. I'm a teacher. And what kind of sense of purpose did you get when you spoke to those children?
Honestly, I related it to every morning when I would talk to my platoon. It made me feel worth.
Yeah.
It made me feel like I'm giving people direction, giving people purpose, and I felt that, man. And then, you know what? So when I spoke to those kids, it felt like the same thing. I'm giving them what I know, what I can help them with. Because I remember when I was a kid, I was a troublemaker, and I wish somebody would have came talk to us in school, man, and said, hey, you could be whatever you want to be in life. And so that's what I want to do, and that's what I'm doing.
How much afterwards did you start to seek therapy, or did you ever seek therapy?
Yes,
Or
I
ask
did.
for help?
Yes.
What did that process look like?
It was good. I went to the VA and I said, hey, I need help. But the thing that I didn't like, they were like, okay, take this medication. I'm like, hey, no, I don't want to take medication. Take the medication.
Right.
So I took the medication, and I was on it for 6 months.
Okay.
I didn't like it. I felt like a zombie. I felt, you know what I felt like? Like somebody in a glass case inside my mind. Like it wasn't me, but I was in like an auto mode, I didn't like it. So what I finally did is I went cold turkey. I said, I'm not taking this shit no more. And I started going hiking. And then that hiking helped me out so
Nice,
much.
bro.
So I started getting in somewhat shape. And I told my therapist, I was like, hey, I stopped taking the medication. He's like, you can't do that. You're going to become suicidal. I go, well, guess what? I didn't. I started hiking, and I started doing things that were positive. Man.
Right.
And then, of course, I did my speaking. So I found me a nice job. So I got this nice job, started hiking, I started speaking, and then everything just started elevating for me, man.
How did you know how to hike not how did you know how to hike? How did you know how to find these positive activities? Did you search the internet? Did you read books, magazine articles, ask people?
You know, that's a good question because I'm trying to remember that. I think it was just looking for positivity. I already knew that physical training was positive, right?
Right.
So I knew I had to go do that. And mind you, I kind of skipped something when after I, talked to those kids, I did finally get a divorce.
The second divorce.
Yes, this is my second divorce. But I didn't stop the drinking,
Okay.
right? So it was still there. And I did get a DUI.
That time too.
Yes, that time too. So that was my second one. And this is in 2018. So at this time, I was going through a divorce. I was fighting for custody and going through a DUI. So I was going through 3 court cases. That was pretty good at that time.
What the hell was going through your mind, bro?
Man, I don't know.
Because I recently separated from my wife about a year ago, man. And that's not easy.
It's not.
Let alone dealing with all this stuff and add a DUI to that. Fuck, man.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. But again, I chose to get the fuck up and go after it.
Did you face any adversity or challenges in that?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
What kept you grounded?
Just myself, man, my purpose. And knowing that what I wanted to do in life and I'm going to go after it. And that was my goal line, man. It's still there. I'm always getting better and I'm always pushing it because I want to become better and bigger. And so I just keep going, man. Become better than yesterday. And that's what I see it.
Are you passionate about helping other people?
Yes. I love doing that.
If we can fast forward to the next war that happens in America, man, and some young 23-year-old gets out and is lost in drinking alcohol, what words would you have for that individual?
Here's my biggest thing. This is what I always say. Do not try to reinvent the wheel when the wheel's already there. Look at us. We've been through this shit. Reach out to those that have been through it. Talk to them. And that's where you get your experience. And then, some things work for me that are not going to work for you, and it's vice versa. So you got to talk to people, especially the ones that have been through it. Surround yourself with positive people, with good people that'll build you and help build you.
Right.
That's the biggest thing, man.
So what are some of the positive things you focus on today, in today's day and age?
Again, be better than yesterday. Try to improve myself. I'm not going to say try. I prove myself every single day because that's what it's all about. I listen to podcasts. I listen to audiobooks on just like right now. What is the book I'm listening to right now? Be Okay with Being Disliked or something like that.
Okay.
It's a psychology book, but it's really good. It talks about trauma and things like that, how to deal with it. And it's just learning about life, learning about things that you could use to become better. And that's what it's all about. Like I've hung out with like Jocko, hanging out with that dude and just talking to him. And not once when I had a conversation with that dude, it was nothing about him. It was all about me. And not saying that I'm somebody special. What I'm trying to say is that hanging out with people like that, and not one time did he ever talk about himself. It was just, hey, how you doing? What are you about? What do you do? How do you do it? Things like that. And just surrounding you guys, and I hang out with Vincent Vargas as well. And just hanging out with dudes like that, man, and just learning more and wanting more.
Earlier, we talked about how back in the day, they'd give you wall-to-wall counseling, different generation, the 90s, the early 2000s, somewhat the mid-2000s. Do you believe that America has a problem right now, a generational problem with understanding their emotions and communication skills?
Yes. We need discipline. We don't have discipline. Now, I'm not saying we need to go back to wall, but what I am saying is that we need good structure, because without structure, there's chaos. So what I'm saying is that the discipline, or teaching our kids discipline, like, hey, if you don't commit to this or you don't finish what you're supposed to do, there's going to be consequences to it. There has to be consequences. If there's no consequences, there's no threat.
Right.
Know?
It'll just be a free-for-all.
Exactly. So we need consequence. We need discipline.
fuck, I don't know why, but you just seem like a good person to ask about this. Like, what about the roles between a man and a woman? Do you believe that some of those roles may have gotten distorted?
Yes, they have. And, that I think that's, getting on the politics side of it because
I'm staying away from the politics, but I
Yeah.
want you to, from your perspective, talk about what you have seen.
a woman's supposed to be a woman, a man's supposed to be a man. I mean, think about it. We were cavemen, right?
Exactly.
What did the man go do? He went out and hunted and got the food for the family.
Right.
And that's the way it's supposed to be.
I believe,
We got
I
away
believe
from
so.
that. We got away from that. And
Do you think social media played
Yes.
a role and mainstream media played a role in maybe, I'm not going to say brainwashing, but
they influenced them.
the influence? That's a great
Yeah.
word, man. Influence.
Influenced them to think otherwise rather than, stick to what we're good at.
Well, just like you stated earlier, we don't have to reinvent the wheel, man.
Yeah. And that's the problem. I mean, people get votes off chaos, man.
Oh, for some reason, negativity sells.
That too. Yes. They can say one word and they get the word and they make it into something else and they fear tactic.
So what would you say to the person that dwells on negativity, always looking for the bullshit on the social media, and then wondering why their life is hell in a handbasket and they're out there partying, drinking, snoring lines off of fucking strippers' asses and wondering why they can't get their shit together?
Well, I remember one time I had a conversation with a veteran. He called me saying hey man, I'm thinking about suicide. And I was like, okay, let's talk about this, man. I go, what are the things that are making you feel this way? The first thing he said, the news. I said, okay, let's stop watching the news. Well, I can't stop doing that. I go, do you listen to yourself right now? I go, you're telling me what the problem is, but you don't want a solution to it. I go, come on, man. Social media is, man, it's fake. It's fake. It's where people pretend to be something else. And people run with that. And what's happening is you got this guy looking at this other guy, and he wants to be like that other guy, and that guy's fake. And then now this guy can't be like this guy, so guess what? He's not going to think he's good enough.
Correct.
And there comes that depression. There comes, all these other things that go with it. Start drinking. Start doing drugs because I'm not good.
Pornography.
There you go, man. And it's just going to go lower, lower, and lower. And it's just all these things that affect your mind. Get out there in nature. Start doing that hiking. Get out there. Meet with good people. Surround yourself with good people. Your environment. It's like you can't grow a fruit or a tree that bears fruit in a nasty soil.
Absolutely.
So there it is.
It almost seems so easy, right? But that's us looking like from the outside in.
Yes, because
So
we
when-
already been through
Because
hell.
when you're in it, it's fucking chaos.
Mm-hmm.
But you're right. Something as simple as stop watching the news. I actually had a Vietnam veteran tell me, stop watching the news, Hector. Stop watching the news. And I pretty much responded to, I can't. But eventually I did, bro. And that did the trick.
It did. It changes. I did the same thing. I stopped watching it like 10 years ago.
Me too, I think.
When people on my feed, I see negative shit. I'm like, get out of here. It's just like, dude, what can I do to change, what happens there in Washington, D.C.? I
Right.
can just vote.
What about projecting? Did you ever have a problem with projecting, like being fearing the future?
Give me an example of that.
Like, oh man, like in your head going, like thinking,
The
Ahead.
like I was talking about the unknown, right?
yeah,
So this is one of the things that I love talking about in my speeches is that we shouldn't let the unknown put us in fear, right? But what we should do is work on our capabilities to overcome the unknown. There it is. There's your solution.
So a lot of people remain the stagnant and the same because they are content in their comfort zone.
Yes,
What advice do you have to people to get out of their comfort zone?
you're going to get left behind.
You're gonna get left behind.
Yes.
Is there anything wrong with getting left behind?
I mean, if that makes you happy, stay there.
Right, but a lot of time it doesn't.
It doesn't make you happy. Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. You got to become comfortable with being uncomfortable.
And then they become internet trolls
Oh,
and hate on the
Jesus.
next fucking man
Yes.
for getting out of that comfort zone.
Again, get off that social media, get out in the world and start doing things for you to build you. Because what's going to happen there, your wealth is going to be better. And then what you're doing is you're teaching your kids how to be better. And when you teach them that, they're going to become better. And then it's just going to keep going on generations and generations.
So what you do right now for work, is it on par with helping others, or is that totally separate?
So what I do on work, I'm a fleet manager for a trash company, right? I run 2 locations.
Okay.
I make really good, income. I can't say that too loud. I still pay child support.
Oh, I hear you, bro.
So I do that, and then I have my own businesses. I have a cigar line, and then I also do T-shirts as well. So
What's your cigar line called?
Keep Up the Fight Cigars.
Keep Up the Fight Cigars? Are they on a website, on the Instagram?
Yes. You'll find them under Payne Mason website, so you can get them there. Actually, they're made out of here in San Diego. And my T-shirts, of course, I get them printed. And so the logo on this, what this logo is all about, you'll see the warrior, right? And then behind it is a shield, but it's the Aztec shield.
Yeah.
Or the Aztec calendar, I'm sorry. So it's 365 days of being a warrior, keeping up the fight. So that's what all that has to do with.
Nice.
And so when I'm not at work, I'm working on myself, and I'm working in my businesses, spending time with my family. I'm married for the 3rd time, and it's awesome. On this right here, just real quick, talking about relationships, I was always looking for somebody to fix me, right?
Yeah.
That's that trauma stuff.
Right.
This time, it's all about building together. I pick someone who I can build with rather than trying to fix me or me trying to fix her.
But also people change. People are different people at different stages of their lives.
It depends, because some people could be fake for so long, and then you see the true them.
Oh, shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because they're in love. They're going to do anything for love, but then that shit wears out.
Right.
So I'm saying you got to work on you to be the best you.
In a marriage, should it be 50-50? How do you view it?
I think it should be 100-100.
I like that you said that, man. You're probably like the second person that I've asked the same exact question. They answers. I even forgot 100-100.
Yeah, because you always got to be. And then you know what? Sometimes I can only give 25 because I'm feeling down. And just going back real quick, do I sometimes get depressed still? Yes, I do. But now I create action to overcome it. Right? I do something to offset that negativity or the depression. Right? But there's some days that I'm not going to be good. Right? But she picks me up.
Right.
Picks me up back up to 100. And she knows when I'm down, she'll pick me up. She'll be like, hey, you need me? Or sometimes, and I'll say, hey, you know what? I just need to be alone for a little bit. Let me do my thing. And she knows I'll be back. Like, all right, get that shit out of me.
Where can people find you if they wanted to reach out to you?
So I'm on social media, Ernie Mariscal, Instagram, Facebook. I also have a website, keepupthefighapparel.com. You can look at me there. You can see you can contact me there, book me there, or you can buy some shirts. They're awesome shirts, by the way. And
They look nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, these polos are awesome, man. They're for golfing and stuff like that.
Nice.
But yeah, that's where you can find me, man. And I'm not out to try to get things from people. What I want to do, if I can help you, I'm going to help you.
Absolutely.
Or if I can point you in the right direction, I'm going to point you in the right direction. But know this, man. There's people out there that want to help, but you got to be honest with yourself to get the help.
Do you think ego plays a role in people not asking for help?
Yes. I was one of those. I thought I was a sergeant first class.
Right.
I knew everything, right? I didn't know shit about life.
What future goals do you have or aspirations do you see
I want to be
yourself?
the best speaker in the world. Yeah, and I'm going to do it.
Hell yeah, dude.
Hell yeah.
Well, thanks for coming out on the show, bro.
Shit,
it was a
thanks for having me,
pleasure.
man.
We got to get you back on here for another round, man.
Hell yeah.
But I appreciate you, dude. And
appreciate
again,
you, man.
you guys want to tap in, he put his social media. We'll link it on the bottom. That way you guys can hire him to speak. If you guys like what you saw, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Love you. Keep pushing forward.
Unhinged line, Hector's legend engraved. Living life raw, never been tamed. From the hood to the pen, truth and tales pen. Hector Bravo unhinged, story never ends.